What are the ABCs of a successful transition? Well, I'm joined today by Susie McEuen from Oak Street Funding to talk about just that. Hi, Susie, welcome.
Hi, Matt. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure getting to talk to you. Now, sometimes it can be a little frightening for advisors when they go through a transition, a sale, but you're going to walk us through, make it a little more basic so we can really understand it. Let's start with, what are the things a lender is looking for here?
Yeah, absolutely. So Oak Street Funding, we're based out of Indianapolis, and all we do is provide loans to RIAs and independent advisors, insurance companies, and CPA firms. So we're very unique, specialized, we're a niche lender. And with that, we understand when buyers come to us that are going to be borrowers, they probably have never done this before. Typically 9 out of 10 of our clients have never borrowed money. So we really help them from start to finish. And the things that they need to look for is be buyer prepared and be prepared as far as borrowing money. And that would be that they need to have their financials in order. And when they're looking at a seller, they're going to want to make sure that the seller is transparent and that they are providing all the information that they need to determine if they are going to want to buy that practice. And some of those things would be, they need to understand their demographic information, assets under management, how many clients that they have, what their staff is like. And when they actually meet someone that they think they want to purchase that book, then they probably should do like a non-disclosure agreement and get that signed so they can kind of start the process. And so we tell our borrowers, get with us as soon as possible, and then also align themselves with someone like a lender like Oak Street Funding, also a CPA firm, and an attorney, and make sure that you work with an attorney that understands the business.
Now, from a seller's perspective, let's flip to the other side of the coin here. What are the kind of stuff that they should have ready so that this is a smooth transition?
No, I appreciate that, because first of all, again, they should be transparent and provide that potential buyer with enough information so they can work with the lender to be able to assess that the financial side is going to work. And that would be the whole demographic information, reports on, again, the revenue, AUM, what type of clients are they serving, what type of investments, what does their staff look like, are they going to keep their location, and then financials, their tax returns. We as a lender, we're going to do our due diligence. We're going to make sure that we can validate and verify their revenue stream, and that borrower should be doing the same thing. So we can be doing that simultaneously. We need to find out too, what is the intention of the seller? What's prompting them to sell? What's their plan as far as staying on? Are they going to help make that transition as smoothly as possible? That's a huge key. That's one of the things that as a lender, we're going to want to understand exactly what that transition plan is going to be. And we like the idea of the seller staying on and helping. So I recommend to a buyer that's going to be a potential borrower to really sit down and figure out, okay, how often we're going to meet these clients? Are we going to meet in person? That's important. We, as a lender, want to tell their story to make sure that we understand not only the financial, the credit side, the cash flow side, but also that they understand how to run a business and what that's going to look like after they buy that book of business.
So then, with all this in mind, what's then the secret to a successful transition?
Well, as far as success is making sure that you align your professionals, get a lender up front if you need financing, and make sure that the seller and the buyer is all on the same page. And, full transparency is critical. And also, I recommend getting a consultant involved that really understands how to put the buy-sell agreement together and get with the lender, like Oak Street Funding, up front to make sure that buy-sell agreement is going to work. One of the things that we're going to look for is that we don't do 100% financing. And so it's a combination bank note as well as a seller note. And the seller needs to be aware that typically lenders are going to require like a subordination. All that up front needs to be discussed instead of waiting till the last minute, because that's where things kind of derail.
Absolutely. Alignment, transparency, and a great partner in your corner. Susie, thank you so much. Great
Thank
insights.
you. I appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
For Edge TV, I'm Matt Ackerman.